7 o'clock, I'll call this special meeting of the Board of Aldermen to order. Roll call, please, sir.
Alderman Magley,
Yep.
Alderman Borman, Alderman Rogers,
Yes, here.
Alderman Wilkins, Alderman Hudson,
Here.
Alderman Lee.
Here. All right, we have a quorum this evening. The first business can take place. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, discussion regarding Randolph Road. Information in your packet.
There is a memo in your packet. It just kind of gives the information that was sent to me regarding the couple of options that we had talked about. He wasn't as excited about a 24-foot road with gravel shoulders if we are intending to do the curb and gutter up past Remington, because it takes off a half a foot on each side of the road. So there is not a cost in here. Don and I talked about if it was wider there and then tapered down to like 38 foot there and then tapered down to 24. We do not have a cost for that. The reason I wanted to also talk about this tonight is because if we're going to do something other than a complete concrete curb and gutter street, we have to request from the Board of Adjustment to allow us to do that, a variance, because our code requires everyone else to do a complete, the concrete curb and gutter street if they're going to put something in there. So that is, when there was discussion about, you know, Matt has said we have to change the ordinance, we would have to request the variance for that. So I guess at this point, is that something that you all want to do? Do you want to just have more discussion during the next meeting in November with other costs? I mean, what direction do you all want to go with this? Because we're not tied to anything until we sign a contract with a contractor. So we can still even go out for bid for a complete, you know, the 38-foot with curb and gutter, if that's what you all would want to do, and see what those costs come in at. And they might come in lower and be able to do it, but we just need direction on that. How do you want to do that? What you'd like to do?
From last time, we were looking at $787,000, rounding it. We were $81,000 ahead of what we needed based on our budget. So we really need to be 700 or below, like this, to do it. I mean,
Does our code require concrete, or can we go asphalt?
I would have to look at that,
It could be either.
but I think it has to be completed, like it needs to be.
Does our code require curb?
Yes.
So several of these options, it would require variance also.
Yes.
I think option 1 is the only one that would not require a variance. Is that right?
option one is over our budget.
Yes.
Mhm.
But because option 2 is less than the 38 feet required, it would have to be a variance.
Well, I'm not sure I
I don't
understand the
know.
way this was written, because if you look at the drawing, it says the base bid is for down up to Remington. And then alternate 1 goes about halfway up, and then alternate 2 goes all the way up. I think we've been talking about all the way through. The question was the width of the street after you got past Remington. My understanding was that we were talking about 38 foot to Remington regardless. And only after that, reducing the width. And to me, there's only 2 options that make any sense there, and one is to go with a 24-foot pavement, no curb and gutter, and the other is to go with a 19-foot of pavement, curb and gutter on one side only, pouring half the street, the other half of the street be added at a future date. You need a little bit of rock over there for the beside the road, but 19 foot is wide enough. Because most of these rural highways out here are anywhere from about 18 to 20 feet.
They're on 55 miles an hour now.
Yep.
Or more.
Now, admittedly, there's a curve on this, but still, 19 foot is enough to get by. There's not gonna be that much traffic on this road.
That option would require variance also?
Yes.
So, do we want to proceed I
19
think,
foot.
I guess we need to decide
Yes.
what we want to ask
Half
the
the width.
Board of Adjustment for.
That's gonna run the cost down a lot.
Well, you got a price for 24 foot, 19 wouldn't be a whole lot less.
Yeah.
Well, probably about.
You would grade
25,000.
out the whole thing, you would put in the, inlets and everything for the full width. You just would only pour half the street and then put in, several feet of rock on the one side
Mm-hmm.
and then, worry about doing the rest of that.
You should be
But
under
this-
600,000.
Should be under
This
600,000.
Well, makes a lot more.
No, I'm not a fan of that one. I would rather go with the 24-foot, no curb and gutter.
That- that
38
is-
feet up to where the
Remington.
first street is,
Remington.
Remington, and then go to 24 foot. I mean, if we're gonna do it, I mean, how much money is the difference really? 19 feet versus 24 feet of the concrete. I know it's money, but
Well,
Cost us
there's
a lot
not a
more
big
money.
difference there. The big difference would come in when you added to it later on. Adding curb and gutter on both sides is a lot more expensive than adding 19 foot of pavement on one side.
These engineers have said that they think that a 24 foot is the minimum road width without
Mhm.
curbs. So it's really what you all would like to do.
So I mean, adding curbs at a later date, because basically you got 24 foot and you're going to a 38 foot. So that would be, 14 foot, you'd be adding 7 foot on each side. That's your most expensive option in the future.
So doing it on one side is just to keep from having that expense later, is that what you're doing?
It would save cost, later, because it would be cheaper to add, the width of the pavement on one side only with curb. It'd be much cheaper than adding it on both sides.
Would the 24, no curb and gutter, would that have a shoulder initially?
A gravel shoulder.
Could, well, it doesn't have to have a gravel shoulder, but it could.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be graded out whenever you add to it.
Mhm.
What's the width of Highway 22 right through there? This
22
paved
foot.
portion?
22 foot? Or 20 foot, I'm not sure which, 22 to 20 or 22.
From white line to white line is 22 foot.
It's not a 24 foot wide road.
so it tells me the 24 foot, no curb and gutter would be just fine if that's what Highway 22 is.
Mhm.
Well, Highway 22 is not that, it's narrower than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Which means the
So why
24
would we
foot
need
should be.
38 feet?
That's what our
That's
code
what-
calls for on a commercial area for, a street.
That's what
Is
the
that
county
for
standards
allow like on-street parking and things like that?
It can allow on-street parking, yes.
Why would we need that there? Because it's a short distance, it's gonna be traveled by trucks mainly and a few cars.
There's,
Walking pedestrians can just, we could build a sidewalk if it's a major deal, right? But where are they gonna walk to?
There's no place to walk to.
That'd be ridiculous, make that wider road.
So, I can contact Zach, find out the cost for 38 feet of past Remington,
mhm.
Well,
then narrow down to 24 foot concrete with
Yeah,
gravel shoulders, no curb, is that what you all would
Right.
like?
yeah.
That would be
No
my
curb and
choice.
gutter.
Uh, one thing to consider also is at the north end, near the business, where the trucks are gonna be making those wider turns, we might wanna widen it out there as well.
Well, I would like to see two options looked at.
Mhm.
One is a 24 foot, and the other is a 19 foot on the other side, and then I would want them to give two additional things. Or at least one additional thing, basically, on each of those. What would be the cost of adding curb and gutter on both sides later on, at today's prices, not at whatever we do in the future?
Mhm.
And what would be the cost of adding 19 foot, the other half of the street at a later date? Because, it can be a fairly substantial difference. If the difference is very small, then the 24 foot makes the most sense.
Mhm.
If the difference is is very wide, then it's a matter of which one is gonna, you may save money now, but it's going to cost you more money in the future.
So you'd have, your option would be to do 19 foot with curb and gutter on one side,
One side,
and then gravel the other half?
no,
Or
just
just
gravel a couple, few feet,
gravel, some feet, okay.
Make a shoulder.
And then,
shoulder.
and then at a future date, put the rest of the 19 feet
Right.
with curb and gutter on the other half.
But I wanna know what the difference in cost, what they project the difference in cost to be for adding curb and gutter on both sides versus adding the pavement on the other side.
Right.
If you have just two owners that own majority of the land, why do you have to have curb and gutter anyway? What's the purpose gonna serve now?
Because our code requires it,
Pardon?
because our subdivision code
Do we have
requires it.
easement yet?
Oh, well, it's not a subdivision.
I'd say we don't move on with the project till we get guaranteed that.
So we
There
can
are
do it.
some, because it is CDBG grant, there are some specific steps we have to follow. Sydney wants to make sure that we know exactly what we are proposing to them in order to ask what the easement's going to be. So if we are gonna change the project from what we had originally said, which was the 38-foot wide street with the curb and gutter, we need to narrow down what we would like to do, because we need to send it in writing to them, certified letter, because this isn't just one easement. We have 6 or 7 easements, 6 or 7 different people that we have to contact. So if we have a better idea of what we're going to do, then we have a better idea of what we're going to ask them for.
Why do we need 6 or 7 people to contact?
Because there are some other people that we're gonna have to
Other
get,
properties.
yeah, other properties that we have to get easements from along.
North to north end?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's not just one person.
Do
So
we
can
have
we
any
narrow-
38-foot wide roads in town?
Yeah,
Where's that at?
all downtown. They're wider than the 38 foot.
Jefferson's wider than that, isn't it?
But Jefferson, I think, is 30, no,
I don't think
Jefferson's
it's
not.
It's not 38, yeah,
Jefferson's not, I think it's only 32,
yeah.
because they didn't have the right of way to do all that.
What's the streets out there on the southwest part of town, where you live? What's yours?
32 foot
32?
and 28.
Okay, so I have direction, I'll talk to ES&S, I'll have this information for
But this is a
November.
commercial area.
And then at that point in time, we're gonna have to decide, if we wanna move forward, we're gonna need to get the request out for the easement
Yeah,
and the, we have to go to the Board of Adjustment
yeah,
to request this.
okay,
Okay.
all right. Thank you very much.
I mean, I think we've wasted money on this anyway, I just don't see us
Yeah, you see.
saving money now and costing us more money in the future.
Yeah, you
I
seem
wanna
to
know
think
what
we're
those costs.
irresponsible with money. I've read that at the paper a couple times recently, Don, so.
Probably read it again.
Moving on, discussion of animal remains being buried in the city cemetery. This is something that recently came up.
Phyllis, do you wanna, you don't have to name any names, just.
I had a party contact me. They are going to be bringing her spouse's cremains here to be buried. And she wanted to know if they could also bury the cremains of their pet cat. And I've had this question before, and so I decided I should ask Sydney. And our code right now says that no dead body or cremated remains of a dead body. Doesn't say anything in here about animals. Just says dead bodies or cremated dead bodies. I, for one, do not think we need to start burying animals in our cemetery.
How long ago was the first request you got?
Oh, it was about a year ago.
Okay, and what was the response?
And I said, no, I do not think that that would be allowed.
Okay,
So, but this person was very adamant, really wants to do this, and I just don't think that for the good of the city, I don't think we should get started in having a burial of animals in our cemetery, because, we're gonna have to charge him to
open the vault.
open
Open the
the,
grave.
to grave, and, I
And,
just don't think we need to
Is
start
there gonna
that.
have to be a,
A vault, This-
yeah, a vault
yeah,
and maybe a funeral director or something to
Yes.
direct all that stuff?
absolutely.
Right now, our
Yeah.
code allows one cemetery plot, you can bury,
You can have one body, or you can have one body and one cremains, or you can have up to 6 cremains in one grave space.
yes.
Okay. So it does allow
Yes.
Or multiple?
Multiple cremains.
Yes.
Yes.
So, we talked to Sydney about this, and because city code does not specifically say that they cannot, it is this board's decision to decide if you want to allow this. And then she highly suggests that we look at considering an ordinance to address this specifically, whether we're going to allow it or we're not going to allow it.
Does the state allow it?
Well, yeah, yes. It doesn't prohibit, it only prohibits you being buried with your favorite livestock. You cannot be buried with a horse or a cow or a pig, but you can be buried with a dog or a cat, a domestic animal.
We're gonna be on CNN.
Dang, I wanted them to set me on a horse right standing up.
What about a motorcycle or a boat or something, you know?
I
Where does
don't,
it stop?
I don't think
Right.
that's that.
Yeah.
Where does it stop?
Yeah.
So this is the board's decision, and if we could get a motion on this, and whatever you feel one way or the other tonight, that would take care of this situation. And then we can have an ordinance ready for November at your direction.
Do what need, let this one go through and do what again?
No,
No.
we just need you to vote whether or not you wanna let this person do this or not, and
And then
then
we'll bring it back to ordinance next month for,
for future, and to make it a permanent decision for everybody else.
I would recommend against it.
So her cat's already been cremated?
I was thinking about all the other people that are committed to the cemetery.
Yeah.
What if somebody just threw a fit? I mean, I could see that, what would you do then?
Well, I would say most of the people that are buried out there are not going to.
You know what I'm, yeah, you know, the relatives are the relatives are the relatives, I mean, you know.
Now, but, you know, like you say, it's those loved ones that are still alive, you know, maybe they're not going to welcome it, and maybe they will, I don't know, but
When somebody buys a grave site, does that come with a deed?
yes,
So they technically own it, right?
yes,
And it would be up to them whether they could,
gotta follow,
one body and one cremate, right?
yes, they have to
If
follow.
they choose to
the
fill up their spot with the cremain of a beloved pet, that would be their choice, right? I mean, it could be their choice.
We need to be notified,
No, I get it.
yeah.
I'm just saying if,
But
it's,
the,
to me, it's kind of one of those things,
the
if I
state,
have the deed to my property, and I can understand not livestock, but a beloved pet. I mean, I
state
honestly
ruling-
think this lady made a mistake by asking.
it's the state ruling that a funeral
Wish they
director
just
must
did
be
it.
present at the burial.
We would have known.
Hmm?
It is a state ruling that a funeral director must be present at the burial.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's
Yeah.
not like she's gonna open the grave twice. I mean, she's gonna bury her husband and the cat. One opening, one hole. Is that not the case?
It'll be two openings, two vaults,
2 charges.
two charges.
Unless
Do
you mix the
we
actual
have
together.
legal grounds
And
to
we don't
say
know
no?
anything about that.
So is the husband already there?
No, he's not. He just passed, and she
Oh, so
will,
we're gonna charge her 2 openings, 2 vaults. But it's
Should.
technically be one hole.
should be 2 holes.
Yeah, they have to separate
We're
them.
gonna treat the cat just like an adult, I mean, a
The
human,
human,
another funeral.
So the husband is cremated also.
yes.
Yes.
And do we have legal
And-
grounds to say no, though?
Cindy said yes.
2 small holes.
And she is going to be cremated herself along with her brother, and they're gonna be put in this space too,
so it'll be
which they
four
can.
openings, yeah.
I mean, I honestly think if somebody wants to fill up their spaces with their beloved pet, I don't have a problem with it.
And charge her $325, it'd be, yeah,
Yeah,
$325.
whatever the going rate is. It's your choice. If you wanna put,
Is there a way we
if you
could,
think your pet's worth $320 to bury,
can we designate a section of the cemetery as a?
We're running out of space.
Don't run out of spaces, that's right.
Do not
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
I don't have, but I bet you half a dozen spaces left in the northwest section to be sold. Then we're gonna start across from McDonald's, and that will happen next year for sure.
Yeah.
And after that, I have no more spaces.
Mhm.
Officer Delaney said, had a good question, said, what if they only want to bury their pet?
What would
No,
be?
it's not a pet cemetery.
Pet cemetery.
But you own the property.
But if you pay them,
You own that spot.
you pay that same
Right now, our
amount of money.
code doesn't distinguish, it's,
It does not, it's just a body or a cremains.
I mean, I own my piece of property over here, but I can't put a, you know, a garage on it without, you know, going through a bunch of hoops and
Well, and they would have,
some
regardless,
other type of
if they're
business.
going to,
Sneaky,
let's
or-
just say they have a dog and they wanna bury the dog, not a cremains, they would have to go through all of the same steps that you would have to go through, with a body, with a person, like,
I think there's different rules on state, law on, pet cemeteries than there are on regular cemeteries, so you're
But
gonna,
that's, I
But
think
this is
that's
our
where we
cemetery,
can
we're
save
not a
ourselves.
cemetery.
We're not running a pet
we're
cemetery.
not running a
Exactly.
pet
Yeah.
cemetery.
So if you wanna bury your uncremated dog, then you need to buy a casket and a vault, and it now becomes a $5,000 funeral.
You
Yes.
have to have a
Value
death
your dog
certificate.
down. I don't think anybody's gonna value
we
the
don't
dog.
typically have.
You'd be
We don't
surprised.
require that.
I
We
buried my,
do,
I buried my dog in my yard.
an internment
What?
permit.
Yes, there's an internment permit.
Oh, here
And
now.
typically,
Very
the
cheap.
funeral director, takes care of.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't bury my.
So where are we at right now again? What
We
do we
need you all to make a decision as to whether or not you wanna let this person be able to bury the cat in their cemetery plot.
Make a motion, no.
I have a motion to not allow the pets to be buried in the cemetery. Do I have a second?
second.
I have a motion to second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
got?
All those opposed?
Uh,
Yeah.
Okay, we better do a roll call vote. Take a roll call vote, please.
Alderman Magley,
Yeah.
Alderman Rogers,
No.
Alderman Borman,
Yes.
What are we saying, yes or no to?
You do not want to
Okay.
allow, yes, do you agree, yes or no, that you do not want to allow?
Yes.
So yes means no.
So the motion
Yes.
was to not allow pets to be buried in the cemetery.
So if you say
Okay.
yes, you agree with that,
So if you say yes, you don't want
No.
pets.
so
Okay,
you're a no.
No.
okay.
Right.
So,
Wait a minute. So you guys are voting to allow pets in there?
He is, I'm not.
okay,
No,
so,
You
So
said
you,
no.
you said no, so you wanna say yes, and you
I wanna
don't.
say yes then.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, we don't want to allow them.
Right.
You're,
Okay.
Yes.
So, it's no,
we got 2 yeses and 1 no on this
Yes.
side.
I'm a yes.
Alderman Hudson,
Yes.
you're a yes, and Alderman Lee,
No.
you're a
okay.
no.
So, we got 3 yeses and 2 nos. Does that sound right?
And let it be known, I'm a pet lover
Yes.
too. I like
Okay.
dogs and cats.
So,
My wife might be mad at me, but I believe our cemetery is for humans.
okay. So, the motion passes and they will not be allowed to be buried in the cemetery. And
And
pets.
then do you need a motion for an ordinance to be drafted or
Yes.
something?
We don't necessarily need an ordinance to, our motion to do that, we just need to
Just
direct it.
Yeah,
Direct
we'll,
us to
we'll.
Because we'll vote on that when it comes up.
Yeah, we will have an ordinance drafted, I don't know if Sydney's got something already in the works or something that we can have for November's meeting.
Yeah.
All right. Designs from CSS art students painting transformer boxes.
If you have it on your computer, you're gonna see them in color.
Yeah.
These, as requested, the art students have submitted their designs. They've already begun priming the boxes, so you might see that the boxes are white instead of green. So really, this is just for your information, so that you can see the designs that they've come up with. And there is one more, and as soon as I get that one, I'll email it out. They just didn't have it quite ready.
Okay.
I don't have any problem with it. I do have a question though.
Okay.
How long is paint gonna last?
No, I don't know.
And who's
What
gonna
kind of paint are
repaint
they
them
using?
when they're done, when they're not?
Well,
We
could
talked
ask.
about
What kind of paint are they
putting a
using?
clear coat
I'll
on
find
it.
out.
Each one of them says what kind of paint they're using.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
I kind of looked at that.
well, I would assume that we would want them to use acrylic paint because that would be less likely to
I
chip
think
They-
they are using some
rather
of
than
that,
latex.
yes.
Mhm.
We are using.
I think each one of them says towards
They'll
the
go over it
bottom.
with numerous layers to ensure protection.
We use house
My
paint.
question is it, I mean,
So
the
it's
designs look one-sided,
House
are they
paint,
gonna
house paint
do
won't work. Unless it's-
one side or?
Well, yeah, it has to be acrylic or enamel, I mean, it's.
I think they're gonna do all the way around it.
It'll be a 3D
Mhm.
type design, wrap, maybe, I'm not sure.
I don't think these designs lend themselves to go all the way around.
Some do, some,
The one with the
That one
trees is
does.
the roof.
That
that's
one-
the way they do it.
the one with the girl on the swing, I think it's a girl, would make me wonder how it would look on it, but some of the others,
Yeah.
You can put 4 Panthers on there and they would be chasing each other around the box.
I guess, are we sure it's not gonna cause a heat problem in the boxes, putting another layers of paint on and stuff?
Jeff didn't seem to think it would.
And as I tell people at work, I'm the non-engineer in the conversation, so I ask questions,
Mhm.
and they seem dumb at times.
Other cities have done similar things.
I've seen things, so I assume it's okay, and you know what, if 10 years from now, they need to be painted again, it's another project for another group of high school kids.
Right.
I mean, that,
We'll just make these kids come back.
I still think
You don't be able to do that.
do we need a motion to approve it, or?
No, we've already
that.
approved
Yeah,
it.
we've
This
already
is just
approved
showing
it,
you the
just
designs.
FYI. Okay, action agenda. Legal, declaring an intention to reimburse certain capital expenditures with proceeds of a lease purchase finance. This is a resolution.
This is very similar to what you've already passed with the Park Rec Center. However, we only passed the resolution to pay us back to the electric fund and not to pay to reimburse the rec center fund, the 100,000, so this gets all of it. It's really just what we've already done.
Any questions? Alderman Gorman, would you introduce this one, please? Or is one reading?
Sure, I make a motion, that we adopt, do we have a resolution number?
Have a bill number,
Bill number, yes.
2258.
2258, I make a motion that we adopt, bill number 2258, by roll call vote.
Nope, we gotta read it first. We gotta do the first reading first.
Okay, then we do whatever they do.
Yeah. So you make a motion that we read the.
By title only, that we adopt it by, or whatever.
Yeah.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to, give the first and only reading of bill number 2258. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Continue, please.
A resolution declaring an intention to reimburse certain capital expenditures with proceeds of a lease purchase, financing. I make a motion that we adopt bill number 2258, by roll call vote.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adopt bill number 2258 by roll call vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Roll call vote, please, Sarah.
Alderman Hudson,
Yes.
Alderman Lee,
Yes.
Alderman Borman,
Yes.
Alderman Rogers,
Or-
Alderman Magley.
Yeah.
All right, by your vote, bill number 2258 passes, now becomes resolution number,
R18-10.
okay.
We received the money, we've already received the money.
We have not, it'll be in November.
Okay, this resolution was a little different in here, it didn't have the resolution.
Yeah, it looks,
on it,
it's
so
different.
it looks a little different. All right, closed session. Alderman Hudson, would you take us into closed session, please?
Move that we go into closed session for legal actions, causes of action, or litigation involving a public governmental body and any confidential or privileged communications between the public governmental body or its representatives and its attorneys as provided for under section 610.021 subsection 1 of the revised statutes of Missouri.
Second. A motion and a second to go into closed session, roll call vote please.
Alderman Hudson,
Yes.
Alderman Lee,
Yes.
Alderman Borman,
Yes.
Alderman Rogers, Alderman Magley.
Yep.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
So, for the record, the only vote that was taken in closed session was to go back into open session. So, all right, go back into open. Then, as may arise. Make sure that you get out and vote on next Tuesday. Polls open at 6, close at 7 p.m. And let's see. I think that's it.
Our next meeting is on a Tuesday also, November 13th.
Right, November 13th, because the holiday, federal holiday is the 12th. And finally, the
Can you
Abbeville
put that in
flags.
bold on the email when it comes out, just as a
Yeah.
reminder?
Yeah.
Bright red, bold, Tuesday.
On November 10th, have a 5K, 10K run, walk for the Abbeville flags. We'll start out at the cemetery at 9 o'clock in the morning. Registration opens up at 8. So, anybody's interested, message me on Facebook or send an email or something like that, and I'll shoot you the information.
Probably will be.
That's all I have.
Because it's St. Charles.
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Second.
Motion second to adjourn, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?